Good evening and welcome to the Twiggs County Board of Education meeting, and thank you to all of our in-person and online communities as well as our stakeholders for joining us this evening. It's my pleasure to call the Twiggs County Board of Education meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, September the 10th, 2024, and the time is 6:03 p.m. Let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I entertain a motion to approve the agenda for Tuesday, September. Okay, with an amendment, we want to remove item number 2 under D. With that amendment, can I get a motion to approve the agenda for Tuesday, September 10th, 2024? Okay. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion to approve the agenda for September 10th, 2024 has been properly made by Ms. Blackshear and second by Ms. King. Is there any discussion? Okay, the question is on the adoption of the motion to approve today's agenda. All those in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously. The minutes for the regular board meeting on August 13th, you've had an opportunity to review that. Are there any corrections to the minutes? All right, since there are no corrections, the minutes are approved as distributed. Ms. Blackshear, would you read the ethics statement?
Yes, thank you. In accordance with regulations set forth by the Georgia Ethics Commission, it is the duty of every board member to avoid both conflict of interest or interest of such conflict. Does any board member have any conflict of interest appearing on our agenda?
No.
Seeing none, Mr. Chair, we will proceed with our agenda.
Okay, at this time, does any board member have any comments or remarks? I would like to make an appeal to all of those who know how to pray. I'm asking that you would pray for the safety of our students, teachers, and staff. I'm also asking that you would also pray for the decision makers, the superintendent, law enforcement, and everybody else that's involved, that God will grant them wisdom and discretion in making some tough decisions. Thank you. No other comments. Dr. Bullock?
Mr. Chair, Vice Chair, board members, all of our constituents who are with us face-to-face and those who are joining us virtually on tonight. I want to thank the board members for that request for prayer and assure our community that school safety is our top priority. I want to just take a few moments to address and assure you and the community that safety in our schools is going to be maintained. As you are aware, that we have been closely monitoring our social media after noticing some threats that had been circulating on yesterday and this morning. We had a situation at the middle high school where some items that were considered weapons were confiscated in a routine vehicle search on our student parking lot. Let me thank our school administration, our senior cabinet, our campus police officers, the Twiggs County Sheriff Department, are all coming together, and they worked in an outstandingly collaborative way to get to a swift response of all of these incidents that have occurred. They investigated each incident, and if it was reported to us or if we saw it ourselves on social media, they were all resolved and brought to a closure very effectively and efficiently. The district's quick response has played a role in us ensuring that the safety of our students and staff and our school surroundings is maintained. We will continue to keep our school safety as top priority, and we understand that sometimes we have to confront incidents that involve school safety and threats and even sometimes hoaxes. However, please rest assured that safety of our students and staff is the top priority. We're committed to investigating each and every report that is brought to our attention, and we work diligently with the campus police and our local authorities to address these potential threats. We will have additional law enforcement officers at JES and the Twiggs County Middle School, and at this time we've lifted our code red and our code yellow, and our schools have returned to normal school operations. Please note that if anyone is found to be responsible for threats or hoaxes, they will be charged and they will be disciplined in accordance with the official code of Georgia and the student code of conduct. We'll continue to provide the community and the board with updates as necessary through our school system web pages, our social media, and Remind. And we do want to thank our community for your continued support as well as we work to ensure safety and security of all of our students and staff. This is our commitment as we continue to work together to generate excellence. One team, one goal. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I also want to remind our community that our Wellness Center is now open. It's open from 8:30 to 4:30 for students, for the family members in the community. You can go there from Monday through Thursday, and if you have insurance, they'll accept all insurances, but if you don't have insurance, you also can go and be served. And if you have Medicaid or Medicare, they accept those as well. On this coming Friday, we do have a FaceTime Friday on September the 13th from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at the Twiggs County Public Library. So please, if you are available, please join Ms. Sampson and community members at our second FaceTime Friday for this school year. And we have a few athletic events on the horizon. Of course, our homecoming is upcoming in a couple of Fridays on September the 27th. Our school district will have a half-day dismissal on that day. We'll dismiss at noon in preparation for homecoming on Friday, September 27th. And on September the 11th, which is tomorrow, the Twiggs County Middle School will be in competition against Appling Middle School. And that's a home game, so if you have time and are near the Cobra Stadium, come out and support our Twiggs County Middle School Cobras. And this Friday night in the Cobra Stadium, the Cobras will be competing against Josie County High School, and that's a home game as well, Friday, September the 13th. So let's come out, support our Cobras on to a victory. Mr. Chair, board members, that concludes my announcements for this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Bullock. At this time, we will begin our business agenda. And Dr. Bullock, you have district requests?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Board members, these field trip requests, as well as fundraisers, do support our vision and mission of generating excellence, one team, one goal, and also to inspire, challenge, and prepare all of our students to compete globally. On Thursday, the 12th of September, the middle high school Program for Exceptional Children would like to take their students to the Goodwill Helms College in Macon, and this is in order for them to look at employment opportunities in that facility. Also on Thursday the 12th, the Agricultural Animal Production class would like to go to Peacock Meats in Cochran, Georgia, and this is in order to differentiate between wholesale and retail meat cuts, beef, pork, lamb. Hopefully they can talk the prices down. On Tuesday, the 17th of September, the Future Farmers of America would like your permission to travel to Camp John Hope in Fort Valley, Georgia. And again, this is an agricultural event in reference to poultry and livestock. On Tuesday, the 5th of November, the PEC department would like to take their students to Warm Springs in Warm Springs, Georgia. And this is so that the students will learn about secondary career pathways that they can complete in 16 weeks with certifications in different work areas. On Wednesday, the 18th of December, Tweeds County Middle School would like your permission to go to the Martin Luther King Jr. Historic Site in Atlanta, Georgia, and to the Georgia Aquarium. And this is to have a civil rights history and science motion tour. On Wednesday, the 30th of April, the middle school also would like your permission to travel to Tabby Island Marine Science Center on Tabby Island, Georgia, and this is to support their history and their science standards. The fundraiser requests that we have, and we request your approval, are from the JES Beta Club. They request your permission to adopt a beta, to sell world finest chocolate bars, and to have the Tiger Pop Lollipop fundraiser. And those will begin on the 14th of August, going through the 25th, the 26th, and the 30th, the 25th, 26th of June, and the 30th of September. The JES Pep Squad would like to do a bow fundraiser, and this is to use funds for uniforms and accessories from the 11th of September through the 30th of September. And the Pep Squad would also like to pie a teacher in the JES gym, and again, to raise funds for uniforms, practice mats for tumbling. And they'd like to do that Wednesday, the 16th of September through the 4th of October. And finally, the JES and the middle high school would like from the central office to involve them in our United Way school district fundraiser, allowing them to have a change jar in JES and the middle high school, to have a pajama day on the 27th of September, which is a Friday, and to have a silent auction on the 4th of October in their classrooms, which is a Friday. And those funds will be utilized to donate on behalf of the school district and the Twiggs County Public Schools to support families who need services and support from the United Way throughout the year. This concludes our field trips and fundraiser requests for this week.
Did you mention the one on the 17th, field trip?
Which one?
Georgia Tech?
Oh, forgive me. The Twiggs County High School does request your permission to travel to Georgia Tech in order to develop an understanding of engineering and technology and associated careers based on that, and that'll be Tuesday, the 17th of September.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
This time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the district request field trips and fundraisers recommended by the superintendent.
I make that motion.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion to approve the district request fundraisers and field trips have been properly made by Mr. Rouse and second by Ms. King. Is there any discussion? Okay, the question is on adoption of the motion to approve the district request. All in favor, raise your hand. Okay, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Let's see. Ms. Jenkins. Yes, ma'am.
Greetings. Chairperson, Mr. Christopher, Vice Chair, Mr. Rouse, Ms. Blackshear, and Ms. King, and Dr. Bullard. This evening, I would like to present to you the FY25 CTAE grant allocations for approval. And before I begin, I would like to share that we are definitely a district with a vision, and we believe in generating excellence, one team, one goal. And we're a district that believes in having a mission, which is to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. The presentation that I'm about to present to you would typically be presented to you by Ms. Denson, but in her absence, I am going to share that it aligns with the strategic goals 1 and 2, learning and wellness for all and excellence ahead in academics, facilities, and operations. We have 4 grants that I really want to talk to you about, and the money is here and coming, and so really we just have to say yay that we're going to receive it. But the first one is from an opportunity through Carl D. Perkins. We have an allocation of $28,872. This grant opportunity allows us to do a lot in our CTA department. It gives us an opportunity to fund subs, to travel, to make sure that we have supplies, to also ensure that we have career technology and student organizations that are thriving, and helps prepare for registration for our CTA teachers. It also funds the professional development opportunities that are offered through the CTA Resource Network. In addition to that, we have the Perkins Press Grant Award, which is awarded, we are awarded $10,000 through that. If you recall, our students had a great opportunity to go to Georgia Tech. And so this money will help fund that opportunity for our students to go again. This will be available to 9th through 12th grade students. They will be able to participate in a week-long residential opportunity on the Georgia Tech campus. This year, the focus will be future innovators solving real-world challenges with coding and designing thinking camps. And so we want to make sure that we use those funds to send those students to those great opportunities. In addition to that, we have grant opportunities provided by the state. We are allotted $27,000 for that opportunity. It provides CTAE extended day opportunities for FBLA and for FCCLA advisors. It also supports 25% of the CTA director's salary and 25% of the CTAE youth apprenticeship coordinator salary. It provides for travel, workshops, job site opportunities, and supplies. Then the final grant that we need to talk about is our state agriculture educational grant. That we are allotted $9,875. This allows for us to have a CTE extended day and a CTE extended year opportunity for our agriculture instructor. And we're delighted to share with you that we have a full-time agriculture instructor who's dedicated, and so we want to make sure that those funds are available for that great educator. And to sum it all up, with the money is available to us, we are asking for you all to approve the FY25 CTAE grant allocations for a total of $65,755. If you don't have any questions.
Are there any questions? Well, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the total fiscal 25 allocation, CTA grant allocation.
I make the motion to approve the FY25 CTAE allocation.
Second.
All right, the motion to approve the FY25 CTA grant allocation has been properly made by Ms. Blackshear and second by Mr. Rouse. Is there any discussion? Okay, the question is on the adoption of the motion to approve the FY25 CTA allocation. All in favor, raise your hand. Okay, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Mr. Austin.
Good evening, Board Chair, Vice Chair, Board members, Superintendent Dr. Bullard, constituents, virtually and in person. I am presenting information for action in regards to replacing server lines at Jeffersonville Elementary School. It does support our vision of generate excellence, one team, one goal, our mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. It supports our strategic goal number 5, growing and sustain our village. The planning phase. The bids were issued to various companies on April 15th, 2024. Bid due date was May 8th, and the opening date was on May 10th. We presented this information a few months ago for approval of a few of our serving lines. When mobile fixture came back out in July, they did not include on the original quote a server line at Jeffersonville Elementary School. And so because of that, we have to ensure that the server line there is updated as well. So if it does look familiar to you, that's the reason why, because we have talked about this before, those were approved. And so now we'll have to bring back the server line for Jeffersonville Elementary School. The response from the vendors were mobile fixture responded with the amount $38,483.69, and the replacement for the server lines will be in the fall, and it's currently taking place. Once we get this approved, we'll look to have this completed early October. The funding source is school nutrition funds because it is to support our school nutrition program. Are there any questions, comments, concerns before we move to an approval?
Are there any questions? If there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve replacing the serving lines at JES.
I make that motion. I second.
All right. The motion has been properly made by Mr. Rouse and second by Ms. Blackshear. To approve the serving lines at JES. The question is on the adoption to approve the motion to approve the, what are we doing, service lines. Serving lines at JES. All in favor, raise your hand. Okay, the motion passed unanimously. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Austin. What time is it? Wow. Chief Waller.
Good evening, Dr. Bullard, Board Chair, Vice Chair, Board members, members of the community following virtually. Today I'm presenting transportation allotments for FY 2022 for Tweeds County Public Schools. Before I start, we are a district with a vision, generating excellence, one team, one goal. Our mission is to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. So in FY 2022, on the amended budget, Tweeds County Schools was allotted 5 new buses. The allotment was $88,110 per bus. The allocation must be spent on school buses. The allocation amount must be processed via purchase order prior to the end of 2024, the end of September. All buses must be in possession of the school district by April 30th, 2025. and the reimbursement process must take place by April 2025 in order to receive the funds before the closing of the bus bonds on the June 30th, 2025. So here's just some statistics of our transportation routes from last school year, FY 2024. We had 12 regular routes, and we have 6 extracurricular routes. We got 4 spare buses. A daily average last school year, we were transporting 545 students. The average miles daily was 1,076. The average time spent, combined time spent on the road was 27 hours and 54 minutes. And that's not including field trips or sporting events, just to put that in perspective. So the purchase price, we're looking at a 72-passenger Type C Bluebird Vision. The purchase price is $143,900. That's fully equipped. We would be responsible for $55,800 per bus, and we will be utilizing SPLOST funds. So that's the brand new 72-passenger Bluebird Vision. The reason we went with the Bluebird Vision as opposed to a 90-passenger is the time frame. In case we had to build it out, the 90-passenger would be 16 months. The 72-passenger at the latest would be 8 months. It's my recommendation that we utilize the money allocated for the 5 school buses, which is, we purchased 2 already. This would be the last 3 that we purchased, 3 new 72-passenger Bluebird Visions. The total amount for 3 buses would be $431,700. State funds, the allotment would cover $264,330, and the district will be responsible for $167,400. So my recommendation would be that we purchase these 3 new buses. Any questions?
My understanding that the amount that the district is responsible for will be covered by the SPLOST.
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
You said, you was telling him everything's gonna be covered by the SPLOST except for the 167?
Would be the district.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And again, $264,330 would be covered by the allotments.
What would be the district cost?
The total cost for 3 schools.
Outside with the SPLOST and what the state is allowed.
The total cost?
Yeah, the cost for the district after all of that.
Okay, out of the $43,900, or so, I'm sorry, the $431,700, that's the total amount for the school buses.
Right.
The district will be responsible for $167,400.
Okay, that's minus the SPLOST and that's minus the state allotment.
That is minus the state allotment, and that would be what we would pay for that out of SPLOST, that 167.
Okay, yes, sir. Any other questions? All right, can I get a motion to approve the purchase of these 3 buses?
Make that motion.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
All right, the motion to approve the purchase of the 3 new 72-passenger buses has been properly made by Mr. Rouse and second by Ms. King. Is there any discussion? Okay, the question is on the adoption of the motion to approve the 3 new 72-passenger buses. All in favor, raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
That sounds much better than trying to fix an old bus.
I understand. All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Ms. Reardon. I thought the night was over.
Almost there. Almost.
Good evening, Board Chair Karstafen,
Good
Vice
evening.
Chair Rouse,
Yes.
board members, Superintendent Dr. Mac Bullard, and stakeholders. Tonight, I will be presenting on the 25-26 title programs budgets as an information item. It aligns with our vision, generating excellence, one team, one goal, and our mission to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. It aligns with our strategic plan goals. 1, learning and wellness for all. 2, excellence ahead, academics, facilities, and opportunities. Last month, you approved the fiscal year 25 federal program grant allocations. Tonight, as a matter of transparency, I'm sharing the plans for those grants. Title 1A was $519,676. We have a set-aside of $326,812, covering the required set-aside for family engagement of 1% and additional family engagement set-aside as well. Grant management set-aside, district-wide coach/master teacher, that's one position. District-wide data retreat and improvement planning at the end of the school year. Professional learning, ESOL support set-aside, and homeless set-aside for McKinney-Vento supporting the Cobra Care Center. The school allocations for Title I are $192,864 with a per pupil allocation of $328. Jeffersonville Elementary is allotted $85,608. They are paying for a kindergarten parapro that is above the FTE that we normally receive. Support programs, supplemental curriculum, instructional supplies, Read United and Accelerated Reader, as well as professional learning. The middle school is allotted $52,808. They are utilizing the money for support programs, supplemental curriculum, instructional supplies, Accelerated Reader, and professional learning. The high school is allocated $54,448. They are utilizing these funds for support programs, supplemental curriculum, instructional supplies, professional learning, and assessment software, MAP. Title IIA is $68,454 for the use of improving teacher quality. It is supporting our induction program with contracted services and stipends, our professional learning with stipends, travel, conference fees, and professional books, gifted endorsements, and program management, audit, and indirect cost. Title 5B is for the purpose of rural and low-income schools for $65,040. It is supporting our PBIS program management and our PBIS software. It supports our after-school and summer school bus drivers. Are there any questions?
I just have one. Was this affected by that survey?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it's decreased.
It decreased as a result of the lack of survey returns across the state of Georgia, not Twiggs County per se, but across the state of Georgia.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
you have, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. My next presentation is the closing out of the 2021 and the 2022 ESSER grants. Again, this is a information item aligning with our vision, mission, and strategic goals 1 and 2. These grants are sunsetting. That's the term that they use because they're coming to an end and we will not have any further carryover from these grants. ESSER 3 ARP 2021, the original grant was $3,678,949. It closed out in September 2023, and at that time we had $1,048,308 that went into carryover for 23-24. We are now closing that out in September 2024, and to let you know what we had used. This is just the carryover money. We purchased or funded an additional teacher above the FTE count at Jeffersonville Elementary School last year, an interventionist, master teacher, 2 parapros, an additional nurse, graduation coach, an additional resource officer for salaries and benefits totaling $620,442. This grant, the carryover money, funded our United Way program, Read United, at the elementary school last year. Last year, it funded $1,000 retention supplement bonuses for our classified and support staff of $55,947, and again, this was last year. It supported Kelly Services for $230,670 total, which is our substitute teachers, which was $152,921, and our substitute custodian and maintenance staff of $77,749, and that is last year. The indirect cost for this grant was $127,303. The next ESSER grant that is sunsetting as well, there's actually 2 grants, the Homeless Youth 1 and 2. It was given to us in 2022. The first grant was $29,996, and then there was a reallocation of leftover CARES money, and that gave us back another grant for the Homeless 2, which was $22,626. And this solely pays for our McKinney-Vento homeless students and other students in need through the Cobra Care Center. And you will see photos of some of the things that it purchased. Everything that you see in that building was purchased with our homeless grants. And finally was the L4GA grants. They were supposed to close in September of 2024, but they changed the law and they closed them back in April. And through the L4GA grants, there were 4 grants at $99,500 each. They were given to us by age band. The requirements in these grants were to have community partners. We partnered with city and county leadership, with Twiggs County Family Connection, with GR Lighthouse Learning Center, Live Well Twiggs, and many others. And you have in front of you a list of the things that we utilize this grant for, but I have a video for you to see some of the things that we did over the last 3 years with the L4GA grants. 3 years.
So that means it's zero balance.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Spears.
You're welcome.
Dr. Griffin Stewart?
Good afternoon, Chair Karstoffen, Vice Chair Rouse, board members, Mrs. Blackshear, Ms. King, Superintendent Dr. McBullard, all of our stakeholders listening virtually and in person. It brings me great pleasure to share this information item about the Twiggs County Public Schools Gifted and Talented Updates. But before I can share that information with you, we are a district with a vision and a mission. And our vision is generating excellence, one team, one goal. And our mission is to inspire, challenge, and prepare all students to compete globally. Our strategic goals align to this presentation. Strategic goal 1, learning and wellness for all. 2, excellence ahead, academics, facilities, and opportunities. And lastly, number 4, growing and sustaining our village. What is the meaning of gifted and talented? Gifted and talented describe children with the ability or potential to develop significantly ahead of their peers. Gifted learners are those with abilities in one or more academic subjects, for example, math and ELA. What does it mean to be identified as a gifted and talented learner? The term gifted and talented, when used with respect to students, children, or youth, means students, children, or youth who give evidence of high achievement capability in such areas as intellectual, creative, artistic, or leadership capacity, or in specific academic fields, and who need services to the exemplary level of challenge of the Georgia standards. So let me share our Twiggs County gifted and talented journey. In January of 2024, we had a select group of JES elementary teachers attend a virtual training with Ms. Banter, the Georgia Department of Education's gifted director. Teachers received an overview on gifted education and received resources to review to prepare students for developing talent for our K-5 students. In that same month, teachers started practicing and becoming familiar with the DOE gifted platform and instructional resources, again, to help develop the talents of our students. So from January through April, teachers started practicing during the ILT time with activities with homeroom students. In February, teachers had an opportunity to participate with a face-to-face gifted specialist. And during that training, teachers practiced using resources to develop students' mental ability, achievement, creativity, and motivation. And then what was so unique about their training is the trainer also brought students in to model with. So students participated and they engaged in a series of hands-on, mind-zone activities around mental ability, achievement, creativity, and motivation. And those are the 4 areas of gifted. Where are we now in our gifted journey? Our K-5 teachers received training and administered the TAB screener where students with various gifted talents traits were identified. So this screener was given to all homeroom teachers at the elementary school, and we were looking for those students with high motivation, with communication skills, problem-solving ability. Where are we now on the gifted and talented journey? We're looking at student data. It's 4 areas again. Achievement, students have to be at or above the 90th percentile to qualify in this area. Mental ability, students have to be at or above the 96th percentile. Creativity, they have to be at or above the 90th percentile. And then motivation, they have to be at or above the 90th percentile. How many students may qualify? Because we do have some students who qualify right now. So when you look at this chart, I want you to think about these students. This data was taken at the end of last year and during the duration of last year. So these students used to be in kindergarten, but now they're first grade. We have 5 to qualify. We will test those students or assess those students January 2025. Our first grade students who are now our second grade students, we have 7 students who will take the COGAT. Second grade who are now third graders, we have 4. They will also take the COGAT. third graders who are now fourth grade. We have 2 students. They too will take the COGAT. And finally, our fourth graders who are now fifth graders, we have 2. And so COGAT represents Cognitive Abilities Test. So we have 15 students ready to qualify. So what that means is these 15 students, they've already qualified in the achievement area. So now we're moving to the COGAT. So what will happen before we test the students? We will meet with the eligibilities team, and that will happen in the midst of this week or early next week. And members consist of the principal and gifted and talented teachers. And the data that we'll review and decide who can move forward will be our ready reading math assessment results, the Georgia milestone results, Beacon assessment results, and then our tabs, traits, attitudes, and behaviors rating scale, and then, of course, student work and artifacts. After we look at those students and say, yes, they need to move on to take the COGAT, after the selection process, we will send parent permission letters home with students, and parents have to grant permission for those students to take the COGAT as part of their gifted screening. And again, we will be testing those students based on the eligibilities team's selection. I must brag on our teachers at the elementary school. We do have 2 gifted certified teachers, and we do have 2 teachers right now taking the gifted endorsement. And so I'm excited that we are building our teacher base. We are building, and so building means we're starting where we have the most veteran experience with teachers, but then we will be moving on to the middle high school. The good thing about the high school is we do have 1 advanced placement teacher, but because of how we had to schedule some things on the master schedule, we could not utilize that teacher this year. So it's all about serving all of our students, and gifted and talented students are a very important part of our instructional program. Are there any questions?
So will it be moved to the middle high school?
Once we develop talent, right now we are working with teachers at the middle and the high school just to develop as a good teacher. And so once those teachers develop and just become stronger teachers and become veteran in their experiences, then we can move it more to the middle high school.
How long do you think that process is going to take?
We could start next year. It just depends on the teacher. And so once our new leadership has been in place and we're doing observations, it will be a matter of seeing what teacher has the talent. And then the next step is, do the teacher want to pursue being gifted certified? Because in order for a teacher to be gifted certified, they want to have to do it, because it's a lot of work involved in being a gifted teacher and being gifted endorsed. And so, like I said, we have 2 teachers who are going through the endorsement now, but they wanted to do it. And so as we are grooming those gifted teachers, part 2 is we want them to want to be a gifted teacher, because it's definitely above and beyond, what you just do in your classroom. It's way above and beyond.
I know we have some gifted students at our middle.
We do. So we're going to be creative after we work through this year and give our new leadership at the middle high school a chance to get in there and know their teachers and know their strengths and the areas that we got to continue to work on. Then who would be a good candidate? That would be a question. Then once we figure out that candidate, then are they interested in becoming a gifted teacher? So it's all about the grooming of the teacher.
Yes.
I have a
And we
question.
will groom that teacher.
Please.
I have a question. So right now we're looking at possible 4 teachers in the elementary school, correct?
Yes.
So once that test, GO-GET test is taken, then what's the next step?
So let's say if we have some students that don't pass the COGAT, then we will have to move to 2 other additional pathways they can get in. And once they get in one of those additional pathways and we see where students are and what grade they're in, then it's all about the service model, how we'll be serving the kids. Because like right now, we have a teacher in 2nd grade that's gifted endorsed in 3rd grade. But Ms. Capiz, I know she wouldn't mind me sharing, but she is also in the gifted endorsement now. So that will give us a 4th, 5th grade teacher. And then we have Ms. Pearson, who is 1st grade. So we're trying to make sure we have all grades covered, so when we're serving those kids, we can house them in one location and provide additional, high leverage support in those Georgia standards, because what we're doing is challenging them even more than what they're used to being challenged in the classroom. So that's the trajectory right now, is once we have those students in place, Ms. Ware is the lead on our gifted teacher. So she's kind of leading the charge right now. So she's meeting with the teachers at the school, and we're talking through, you know, where are we with our students. So that's kind of where we are right now.
Thank you.
You're
Love
welcome.
to move that challenge to all of our schools.
We're gonna do that, Ms. Blackshear. No
Yes.
worries, no worries. We're gonna build it in the grow. I want you to think about a flower.
Okay.
Once you put that soil in the season, you just start
gonna
watering
bloom
it.
all over.
It's
Okay.
gonna bloom all the way to the middle of high school.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
Are there any more questions?
Any more questions? We all satisfied? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We got an executive session. Well, if there's no other business, I'm happy to say that this meeting is now adjourned.
No other business, sir.
Y'all have a great rest of your day.
I know you want to, you just embarrassed about that note.
I need something name.